Well, here we are, still late night at Home Gym Con. I'm not done because I've got something really cool to show you. Hey everybody, it's Tim, head nerd at GymCrafter.com, where we help folks like you build home gyms that you love and actually use. And I've got yet another surprise from Home Gym Con. Now, for 30 years, I worked in retail electronics and appliances, and the store that I worked at, Apt Electronics in Chicago, also has a relatively large fitness section. Now, most of it was cardio, but we did carry a few weight training and resistance training items, and they were all by Body Solid. Body Solid's been around for 35 years, it's located in Chicago, so it made sense to sell their stuff at the store. The problem is, Body Solid has a few different lines of gear, and the buyers at Apt never brought in the nicer stuff. They always brought in the most entry-level basic stuff. So my impression of Body Solid for a long time has been that it's just kind of inexpensive, almost cheap entry-level stuff that I didn't feel comfortable recommending. So when I got here with my friend John from Garage Gym Life, he kept telling me, man, you got to go see the Body Solid booth. You got to go see the Body Solid booth. Body Solid reached out to me on Instagram and said, hey man, you got to come check this out. You got to come check this out. And I was really resistant because my impression was that it wasn't very good. And when I walked into their booth, wow, was I wrong. I mean, wow, was I wrong. And this particular product is one that really not only impressed me, but on the GymCrafter.com website, there's a little search box. So if you ever need something for your home gym, go to GymCrafter.com, type whatever you want in the search box. If it's not there, I get a little report that shows me what people were searching for. And one of the top 3 most searched for terms on GymCrafter.com is power rack for a low ceiling. A lot of you folks out there have gyms in your basement where you don't have room to put things. Your ceiling is restrictive and you definitely don't have room for a power rack. Well, here we have an 80-inch tall power rack. I'm 6'6", and you can see that it's right there. This will fit in almost the shortest of ceilings. Now, in the past, short power racks were always a thing. You could get a short power rack from Rep. You could get a short power rack from Titan, and Titans is who I've always recommended till now. The problem is that when you go with a scaled down power rack like that, you lose a lot of options. And you basically get 4 posts, safeties, and maybe a pull-up bar, which isn't all that good in a low ceiling application. Well, what you're looking at here is you're looking at a full power rack, dual weight stacks and cable system on the back, pull-up bar, lat pull down, low row, cable pulley system, and there's about 15 total attachments on this particular rack that you can get. This is one of the most fully featured racks at the show, and it fits where none of those other racks fit. So I want to show you a couple of things on here real quick that I think are really cool. So let me bring you in closer and we'll take a look. One of the best things about this rack is it not only saves you space and height, but it saves you footprint because of how many attachments it has and how clever Body Solid has been about arranging the cable system so that it does a lot. There's dual weight stacks back here. They're 2-to-1. When used together, I believe it becomes a 1-to-1. Don't quote me on that one. I've been up for about 18 hours here filming content, and I've got nothing but home gym specs swimming around in my head. When I help people build home gyms, especially their first one, and if they've worked out at a commercial gym before, a lot of you and a lot of them are used to using machines. It's what they knew, it's what they felt safe on, and building a gym at home, they want to continue to feel safe, and they want to continue to do some of their favorite exercises. And 2 of the exercises that a lot of people really miss when they build a home gym and it's just a squat rack are hamstring curls and then leg extensions. So here I'm sitting on the bench and hooked up to the cable system, which is incredibly smooth, by the way. I'm going to show you some details on how this cable system is designed, but incredibly smooth, incredibly easy to use, and really feels nice. You've got an adjustable leg extension, you've got an adjustable leg curl, so even somebody tall like myself can use it, and you can continue to do your leg extensions and your leg curls at home with a bench like this. So this is the first thing that jumped out at me, is you don't need to buy, if you're familiar with what a standalone machine that does this, how much room it takes up, how much it costs. This is not only a space savings, but it's a cost savings. Let me show you a couple of other really cool things. Okay, so sticking with the cable system, we've got 2 trolleys that move up and down, so you can do dual cable work, you can do crossovers, you can do all kinds of stuff on these, and I could normally think of about 1,000,000 more exercises you would do with these, but my brain has already gone to sleep. One of the things I really like is look how easily this moves up and down. Again, not only is the cable super smooth, but the adjustments are super smooth as well. These come in, and again, I didn't unhook the leg extension or the leg curl. I now just jumped over to this. I didn't have to hook anything. I didn't have to unhook anything. I just jumped from exercise to exercise. There's virtually no setup required when moving from one to the next. If I want to do a low row, I simply unclip the bench, get it out of the way, and then grab the handle that's down there, hook it to where the bench was, and start rowing. So it's very easy to move from exercise to exercise. Body Solid offers a number of attachments, and I think a number is understating it, but really a lot of thoughtful attachments, well made. The powder coat's good, the welds are really good, the knurling is grippy. Really just a solid offering from Body Solid. Let me show you one more detail. So one of the reasons I'm here after hours is not only so that it's quieter, but I spent the day playing cameraman for my friend John over at Garage Gym Life. And this is something that he pointed out that I wouldn't have noticed myself, because as you guys know from watching my videos, I don't yet have a cable system in my garage. I've got two coming. Where this cable attaches to the trolley system, having the attachment on the side instead of the back. Now, when we look around at these, most of the cable systems, this attachment of the cable is on the back of the post. And what happens is when you also have J-cups on here, when the cable's on the back, it ends up getting in the way of the J-cup. By moving this to the side, it gets it out of the way. It's one of those little things that you wouldn't notice unless you've used the cable system extensively, and I'm really thankful to John for pointing that out so that I could share it with you guys. But I did want to make sure and point that out because there's thoughtful details like this all over this rack. And I can't impress upon you guys enough the quality. I'm not kidding. I honestly thought Body Solid wasn't all that great. And seeing this and standing here, the quality of the workmanship, the fit and finish, the quality of the welds, the quality of the powder coat, really, I don't have anything nitpicky about this at all. The only thing for me is just being a standard squat rack or power rack guy. All of this stuff is a little overwhelming. I think I'd maybe have to take it one thing at a time, but there is so much stuff on here. It would be really cool to add something like this to my home gym. Now, they make this rack, this exact rack, in a taller version, which is sitting next to me. So let me show you that real quick so that you can get an idea of what the larger version is. So as we step over to the larger version of the short rack, it's the exact same rack, just taller. But on this side, they do have some of their quote unquote larger accessories. Now, all of these larger accessories will actually still fit. It's the same hole spacing and pattern on both racks, but it's better to display the big stuff. So for example, you've got this monolift here that'll fit on either rack. So any of you big squatters out there, these are fantastic to have. Again, the fit and finish that I keep talking about carries across the entire line. So you've got that. You've got down here, you've got their belt squat. It's a lever arm belt squat. Now, it's not as nice as the Fringe Sport one that's here at the show, but it is pretty nice. This one loads on the side post. The belt is actually pretty comfortable. You've got their Pro Club bench in here. They've got some nice solid benches to put in. And then you've got storage rack across the back of the bench to store your kettlebells, and again, some space savings. If you don't need the height saving, but you need some actual space savings, you can put the extra post instead of a cable system back there. This particular one doesn't have a cable system, but you can put one on there, I believe. So don't quote me on that. I don't have anybody to ask right now, but I'm pretty sure you can do that. I wanted to show you those. And then I want to show you, give you a closer look at this belt squat. And then one really cool accessory that I haven't seen anywhere else that I saw demonstrated today, which was really kind of cool. And I just talked to a gentleman walking through, finishing setting up his booth for tomorrow, who showed me one more thing you could do with this, so I'll share that with you as well. All right, so we're gonna come down here. I'm gonna give you a view of the belt squat right here. Like I said, it's side loaded, so you can actually put a few more plates on this than you can the Fringe Sport. It is a pretty big accessory, but the belt squat, really good thing to have. I've used a couple of them here. I really enjoy using them. As somebody with kind of a tricky back, it's a really helpful thing to have in the garage. It's also nice if you like to do a lot of squatting or high rep squatting. This is invaluable. The one I really wanted to show you guys is the rower attachment. So this is a sliding rowing seat, nice and smooth here. You've got your foot pads down there. What you do is you put this over where the low row is in place of the bench, and you can actually turn your cable stack into a rower. So that's a really cool accessory that you have. Again, if you're trying to save space and get a lot of stuff condensed, rowing machines are large. And while this isn't exactly like using a rowing machine, it's pretty close. So I enjoy using a water rower myself. I'm going to be reviewing a hydro pretty soon, and both of those I think are dedicated rowers, are a higher quality rowing experience. Not only the interactive programming they have, but just the feel of it. But if you just want to get some rowing in, shoulder health, get some cardio in, this is a great option. The other thing that you can do, which is what the guy walking by just showed me, he said you can actually take, and instead of attaching a handle to the cable machine, you can attach a belt and put it across you and use this as a leg press. So it was really cool. He showed me some video of him doing it at home, leaning back, holding onto the seat and pushing with his legs. And it's a great way to get a leg press kind of built in, even though there's not an official or a dedicated leg press built in. So a lot of versatility in these racks. Like I said, you're probably tired of hearing me say it in this video, but Body Solid really impressed me. I did get the reps number. I will be reviewing some more of their stuff here in the not too distant future, and it's kind of on me that I haven't done that up until now. So that's what I've got from the Body Solid. If you like this kind of stuff, if you appreciate me staying here late to give you as much information as I can on these products without all the people walking by, drop a like, drop a follow, share this with somebody else who needs to see it. Maybe bookmark this, watch it later if you're thinking about whether or not to come to Home Gym Con next year, because it's definitely worth the trip. But until the next video, thanks for hanging. I'm Tim with GymCrafter.